Hi everyone. The more commentated replay. This is taken from a few first to 10 sets. Basically can't play, so I'm just going to record replays instead. I meant to do these a long time ago, but I'm only just now getting around to it. These were against BrotherShaw and Reiter before Climax, mostly just for practice for Climax. So I ran first to 10 sets with them, and then the later video will be with Sky and Ju. Just do it all from my point of view, so it's easier to follow. Against Rebrons, typically my game plan is to double lock Rebrons most of the time, because he's a suit that can handle it, really. He has the tools to win the 1v1 in almost all scenarios, but sometimes that requires you working with your partner in order to properly shut him down. But instead, the kind of team formation we're adopting right now is we kind of just take one or the other, and whoever is left undefended usually just gets surprise attacked and eats a lot of damage. That's the thing with this comp especially, the way that it tends to operate is that the mashing effect of it, well, there I got hit by Excellia super. Pretty funny interaction. But the way that this composition works is that their mash is extremely dangerous. Like, Marasai kicks, of course, do tons of damage and are very threatening when someone's not looking at it. And against Double X, you have both his Garobi to worry about, especially when he's an S burst, and then sometimes he'll just swing wildly with melee, and you eat 300 damage for that too. So that's typically what I mean when I say the mash of this comp is really deadly. Making mistakes against this team can be very harmful. So now Double X is in S burst and is going after Excellia. I put down the Garobi assist aimed at Excellia, and it manages to act as a fence against Rebrons. Stops him from coming to help his partner. So now on to game 2. Talking more about the matchup between Marasai and Rebrons. Rebrons has the tools to deal with the sort of self-defense, close-quarter sequences that I typically go for. You know, it's the same thing. Step, throwing daggers, and then sometimes kicking once you realize, you know, they spent a lot of boost to try and get you and they're not anticipating the kick. Obviously, with Reborns, he can do Gagas. And he can do, more importantly, I think he can do sub. And the correction on that sub, the Vernierless Garo, is extremely... it's good. It really will sometimes feel like it shoots straight up to hit me just as I'm coming down with a kick. So that, combined with Gagas, kind of supplementing the number of Gagas that he has, kind of prevents me from just relentlessly going in, trying to repeatedly land kicks. Plus, I just have a track record of being hit by Reborn's Cannon Garo a lot of the time. So Reborn's pops burst, I get hit down, I believe by Excellia, so I just stay down. I believe that might have been Double X 2B and backstepped away. It uses the burst to pretty much eat away half of Reborns' remaining life. I believe he died just out of burst, so that's why he took the 300 damage and was able to burst again. But now he doesn't have burst. I get hit by that Excellia thing. The Tornado, Typhoon. Excellia has burst, Reborns does not and won't get it, so that's where I'm like, it's time to go into Reborns. And again, see, even just doing turnaround sub, it's really good at catching me. I'm just trying to harass him now and put the pressure on him, get hit by the AC and follow-up shot surprisingly kills me. I almost throw this game, and you'll see why in a bit. But there goes Excellia's last burst. I fly away and activate my own burst just to, you know, refill boost and just keep flying away. Foolishly, I'm going like, let me do this. Let me try and do some shenanigans, and I get hit by Reborn's cannon. I was dead there, but thankfully he left Excellia unprotected against Double X. So it worked out, but I definitely was dead there. Game 3. Trying to notice positioning, and I think Rebrons' positioning is really good. He does a good job at trying to control the middle of the screen, and I think having a partner like Excellia really helps with that, because Excellia can stay further back and kind of be the backup that Reborns might need. And if Reborns is holding the middle of the stage and giving Excellia time, like a lot of space to, you know, stay back, then that's good, I feel like. So I feel like Reborns has pretty much held the middle of the screen very well the entire time, and we've just been kind of skirting on the outsides, which has been good for his partner. But now I'm in the corner. I stay low to the ground pretty much the whole time and try to mix up when I'm going to land, so that I can land, refill boost using the Omicron, and then begin a new sequence again. Get hit, decide to get hit again, I guess, from Double X Sat Cannon. So partner dies, I'm trying to get out of there and reconvene with my partner. This was something that I noticed a lot more when I was playing at Climax, is that I tried to definitely stay more aligned with my partner and really keep formation, pretty much just stick on him the whole time and stay behind him when necessary. Right now, his life is looking low. We have around the same life total, so I'm trying to push up and be more aggressive now. Don't believe I'm going to burst on this first life unless... Oh, I think I am, because right now I'm going to do it right here. Yep. I see Excellia, trying to get her. And then she spawns right in there. I die in burst, but thankfully now Double X has burst, and Excellia used hers to do the attack, to do her burst attack. Thankfully it misses. Again, try to set up the assist Garo as a fence. Excellia does CSA, which puts her in place, and I just fire off a sub, because it's also Vernierless. Gabthley sub is really good. Game 4. Again, the important thing to do with Marasai is to not try and fire off all 4 of your shots as quickly as possible. You can see I try and put a noticeable delay, like shoot, 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 shoot. And the reason for that is just while the tracking of it isn't great, by doing this sort of slow firing, you can make the opponent spend more boost trying to boost dash away from it. And what this does is that it allows you to, by also being slower, it allows you to cancel into BC, because if you fire too quickly, if you input A too quickly, then you're not able to cancel into BC. So that's the other thing, is that by firing slowly you can do that and then cancel into BC, and if one of those shots that you delayed has caught them, then they're going to get hit by the BC as well, and you can turn that into a hit confirm. I believe I could have killed Reborns there. I just thought that it would kill, but I get into his vector because he's trying to protect his partner, to shoot down Double X. I get hit by the Excellia A-Train. no problem. It just gives me burst, and I see Excellia, so I want to go in, but I hold off a bit until we're both on her, so I can activate burst. But Rebrons was waiting probably at the perfect time to do so. To activate his own burst. Try and come in for the save. So now Ryder has switched to Atlas. Very cool suit. Atlas is kind of like Excellia, I feel like, because he kind of has all these cancel chains and multiple points at the of these chains where he cuts tracking, but he's still able to do this long cancel chain on you in the hopes that you don't see it or you're not expecting it to track, and it does track from so far away. Like right there, it was still tracking me and I needed to step. And because he has physical projectiles, all physical, they're quite wide or long, and they have good traveling speed compared to just the regular BR. So I really like Atlas, is what I'm trying to say. But my assist there also did a lot of tracking and caught his landing, so I was able to delay him just for a bit. Managed to hit Reborns while he's in burst and then get the down onto Atlas, because he ran out of boost just as he was going to hit me. Now my partner's dead. When your partner's dead, and well, when your partner's about to die, you need to be able to recognize that and know when to back off and let them basically go ham and spend the rest of their life. Because if they die and you're in a bad position, you're getting 2v1 and there's no one to take the fire off of you. So I get burst now. Atlas bursts. I burst away as well. I should have pressed the offense more, because his burst isn't... Oh, he had the full burst, I believe, so it was going to last quite a while. And he did get most of his boost back, so... But I'm trying to spend the last of my life hitting Atlas, which isn't wise because I have around 400, 500 life left, and my partner still has around 700. So when you're in this position as a back, you want to think about your life total, considering your next life as well. And it'd be better for me to let DX spend his life, and then if around 400 to 300 HP is when I would start to go in. So right now I'm just hanging out in green lock, but then my partner gets supered, so I'm like, I gotta cut it now. He moves a lot, so I can't really cut it until the very end, but dying gives me burst as well, and all that damage he took gives him burst, so now we both have burst and they don't, so I'm just going to go aggressively onto Atlas, and because the double X is also in burst, he's able to take out Rebrons. So that's just the typical situation where one team has the last burst and one team does not have burst at all. It's just very important to know your burst timings and make your bursts count, because they can quite literally decide the game, as you saw there. Again with Marasai, because AC, your assist, chains to your main, it allows you to fast fall, but it also allows you to send out the assist and then again do the slow shot thing, so you have all these shots coming out along with this charging assist from quite a distance away. I thought he was out of boost, but he had some and it surprised me. Thankfully land just short of that counter, but he did 5 BC, which did not have the range to hit me, but I've still eaten a lot of damage on my first life, which is not good. Right now I have around 600, 700 life left, and my partner has 1100, or now 1000 life left. So I have way less life than my partner right now, so I really need to pull back, pretty much. And this is the common bad situation that you get in, where your partner's low life, you're low life, and you can't really push in with your partner when they burst. By having a lot of HP on your first life as a 2K, you really are enabled to play a lot more risky. But here I kind of just did that as a self-defense, but I still wind up getting hit by Atlas. I did the burst kind of, 1, to use it because it's a half burst, and 2, to get more damage in on Reborns, which was good. So now my partner is around 600 life, I've got around 400. Atlas is looking weak, so it looks like right now the target should be Atlas, which it is. So we get Atlas down, so we're in a winning position. We have our condition now. We gotta kill Atlas again, who I believe does have burst. I'm moving towards it. Atlas is moving towards the corner, but I get hit, and then Garo Funnels put me in a bad position. Should have stepped away. Try to get away from Reborns, doing 2BC, CSA 2BC. Very good self-defense sequence when you're on Gabthley, because it just gives you a lot of height. You cut tracking twice and you fly away, pretty much. It's a lot better to do it when something's coming at you, like a projectile. But right there, I'm just doing it because Reborns is coming at me, and I'm kind of treating him as the projectile, and now he's going to burst. I land so I can recover boost and try and get behind my partner. He does, but then comes in Reborns. Took 200 damage. I'm going to die off the next hit, so I'm kind of staying down, trying to waste as much time as possible. I believe that might have been a misinput. Yeah, it probably was a misinput, because I inputted burst to try it, because I realized, oh, I messed up. So now I gotta refill my boost and try and get out of the situation. But Atlas CSA, really good button. So I get caught. But that situation could have been avoided, maybe if I just played my first life a lot better and didn't get down to 200 when my partner died. But it happens. So Atlas moves towards the corner, kind of presents themselves first, so we try to aim for him first. That's typically how you want to operate, is that you want to see like who is offering themselves up to be hit, right? And right now I'm doing it because I'm in the middle of them. I was pretty much like chased right into Reborns by Atlas, so that was good on them. Trying to hit Atlas again is kind of difficult as Marasai, because you also have these very long cancel chains, and Atlas will naturally cut tracking to avoid getting hit, just in doing his own sequences. So Reborns is on me, I try to back away. Just in general, being able to, like that, I managed to finally avoid the Reborns cannon. Being able to do backwards rainbow step while still sending out projectiles is really strong. It's a really annoying thing for someone that's trying to come in to attack you to deal with, like Destiny, for example. It's really annoying for him to deal with, so the same applies to MBON, to Reborns, to anyone that's looking to just try and melee you. Very good back turned A to basically one hit down me before he got kicked. So that was very good, very well played by him. Also good on the Atlas for getting the whiff punish there. Partner runs into the Garo funnels, it happens. I have around the same HP total as my partner, so I'm trying to play just as offensively as he is. Probably a bit more than I need to, honestly, but I'm trying to get burst as well. I did Vernierless sub there, and it managed to hit Atlas as they were doing 5 BC, so maybe it was just as their active frames kicked in. So he does 4-6 BC, I step and do 2B, and I don't believe I was tracking on him, but the hitbox is so wide and the move is so fast that it just hits. So, switched off of Atlas to Strike Rogue. Very standard suit. Nice CSA catches both of us there, so that was good. Well aimed by him. Has missiles, has a nice meat shield assist. That can also be a firepower assist. Has a similar 2B projectile that it can step. Just a very standard suit. Just doesn't have a lot of mobility, but then again, neither does Marasai. But Double X manages to land a really good Gundam Hammer, and pretty much puts Strike Rogue into the position where this team comp is now going to have to be Strike Rogue dies 3 times. Yep. So, but they've traded up decently well. Like, it's important to realize that it's not the end of the world that Strike Rogue dies first, because when you look at the fact that, you know, Rebrons is decently healthy. He could be better, but Strike Rogue, you know, killed Double X. Double X is dead, so Double X is on their second life, and did around 200 damage to me. So it's really strong, and if they keep it up, then, you know, Strike Rogue is going to get another burst, and it's going to be really difficult. But now they're kind of they're entering the danger territory, the danger zone. Sorry about that, because Reborn's his burst. That's probably going to be their only burst, but he's making it really count. I managed to cut. I don't know if he died in the burst attack, if that matters, but anyways, I was able to use my own burst to hit Reborns and then Strike Rogue. And that's what I mean by the danger zone. They're both low, and when that happens, then it's just like they could be taken out one at a time, and it becomes a very, you know, dire situation. So now to speak on positioning, now I remember talking about how Reborns was good at holding the center of the stage, and now we're kind of trying to do the same thing, although we've conceded some ground. At the beginning, we move forward and we try to take control of the stage, and that's why, you know, Reborns has Garo funnels. And if he puts Garo funnels on you, you don't want to try and move towards the center of the stage, because you're going to, in the process, spend a lot more boost. And in doing that, you're going to land with less boost, and he's going to have more boost, and he'll probably have the advantage or the ability to punish you, the ability to basically secure the center of the stage for himself. But because Double X is able to spray out those missiles and basically negate his Garo funnels, it allows us to start to move towards the center of the stage. Right there, I did sub a bit too early. I tried to cancel it and then do sub again, because I anticipated Strike Rogue spending all their boost trying to land. And also another note about Marasai is the speed of BC it's really absurd. Because you look at like a Strike Rogue, for example, or even Double X, although I think Double X has a pretty fast projectile that they can rainbow step. But Marasai's is really, really fast, and it has the built-in movement to it too. Although the movement itself isn't like really that noteworthy, it is still strong. So right there I did forward, I did 8B. I could have done step 2B sub, to be honest, for getting the down. But I believe maybe I just wanted to get the down as fast as possible. Right now my partner's in yellow, in red, so I'm like, I gotta move, but I get taken out, which is really bad position, because this is the part where I'd be like, oh, I just need my partner to stay down, but because I die, I'm not able to be there to take fire, and Rebrons bursts on him, and I think strike Rogue as well, but had the assist as well, so really bad position for Double X to be in, and kind of can't get out of it. Because I died. Good Reborn's cannon, Garo, because Double X was looking at Strike Rogue, so he really just seized the opportunity, and it's a really rewarding payoff. Around 230 damage, quite insane. So we're put into pretty low health totals. I think around right now the health totals are around the same until, you know, Double X takes some damage there, but yeah, just right now health is looking about the same. We're both getting hit by pretty much everything in these very, you know, high damage sequences, but Reborn's bursts first. I managed to thankfully clip him with sub, so that pretty much uses up the last of his burst, and then he tries to go for melee because Double X isn't looking, but Double X has his own super wide Garo, and Sat Cannon manages to capture him as he's trying to go for melee. Now, I don't know too much about Reborn's burst sequences, but I feel like more, maybe, I don't know if what his boost was looking at beforehand, but being able to just pop onto someone using your burst like that, I feel like, you know, it could have been more aggressive. Maybe something he could have used beforehand that reloads, like Gaga's or something like that, or sub. Something like that would really force me to move and probably guarantee a lot of damage on me because I'm not running E-Burst for this set. Tried to step, but missiles have a pretty good hitbox, so. That's what people mean when they say Double X is a very MA mode focused suit, because yeah, he does spend a lot of his match in MA mode because he gets access to those Vernierless missiles, and it's really strong to be able to move like that and put out this high tracking move that, you know, sometimes depending on where it hits, you might be able to get a good follow-up, sometimes you won't, but it's still just a really good move to be able to throw out. The only issue is that Double X MA mode is very slow, big. It doesn't have, you know, any sort of like a built-in evasive movement to it like Gabthley does. But it does have good firepower, so that's what counts, I guess. Moving towards the center of the stage, trying to hold it, and while moving to support my partner. I moved left here, but, you know, I should really move right, and that would put me, you know, closer to Reborns, but I would be holding the stage and pretty much contesting him with it. Get clipped by sub, so I decide to stay down, but now my partner bursts, so I'm like, I gotta move up now, and it's really opportune time. It does 290 on Strike Rogue, not enough to kill, but just barely. Strike Rogue dies just as they pop burst, so they don't have a burst. They're in a pretty bad position right now because Double X died. They got a lot done. Likely they're going to have burst at around 80% HP, So probably around 600, 500. Pretty much the next time they get hit and downed, like right now, they've got burst. And I've got burst as well. So I'm like, now's the time. Alright, I know Strike Rogue doesn't have burst. I mess up the combo because I stepped in the wrong direction, I believe, to try and hit the sub. But thankfully, Double X is there to pick up the combo. I believe stepping right and trying to sub after a Marasai kick results in the sub whiffing. So it's better to go left or just straight back. Alright, so Ryder has switched to Farsia now. Farsia, kind of like a 2K Xeon, very comparable in that they're high APM, they do a lot of this landing property melee to refill their boost and do these long sequences. They have a constant assist that they can command as well that can do stuff like set up a Garo fence as well, so it's very difficult to deal with. Very cool suit as well, I'll say. In terms of playing against it, it's kind of the thing where you want to ignore it because your perceived threat of it isn't that strong because it's got an MG, right? But if you're able to kite away from it and just stay out of its red lock, because it doesn't have like heavy arm style red lock, although it wants to play like heavy arms, right? So I go down, I'm trying to waste as much time so my partner can come back. Thankfully, the Farsia funnels managed to hit Rebrons, so it's giving me more time, but foolishly, I crave going for the Marasai kick, and I get punished for it, because Gaga's very strong self-defense tool. And now I die, so I'm like, alright, saving this F-burst so I can conserve my HP. Basically gonna stay back and throw CSAs and assists. I noticed Reborns was on top of me, so I did that no-lock evasion. I get hit by 8B or whatever the 9-inch Stiletto's move is. So I burst because, you know, melee starter, I'm probably going to die if I didn't burst out of that. Stagger with the sub, transform away, and then send the assist out to deal the rest. The MA mode assist is really good because it's basically, you know, 3 heavy stagger shots. Try to emergency evade away, but should have done a different direction instead of up. I think I did 2BC as well, which wouldn't have helped me. No, it would have helped me because I was aiming at him. 2BC makes you face away, 8BC or neutral BC makes you face towards them while you transform. Example of double X missiles allowing for a lot of damage instead of just, you know, 60, like if they hit the ground immediately. But Reborns returns it in kind. I'm in yellow, not even 20 seconds into the match, and about to get burst. So I'm playing back, and I probably should just be like, I'll go ahead right now. Like, this is the time and the place for me to do it, because double X is full life. And even though, like, this is a bad situation, it's a lot worse if I try to, there we go. It's a lot worse if I try to stay alive, which I don't. Fortunately, I die in burst, but I managed to at least take Reborns off of double X, which was good because now his life is more valuable, like his HP total. But again, waking up and spawning and then eating a cannon funnel, cannon Garo is not that fun. With Gabthley, typically what you want to do in neutral is if you can do like a CSA or maybe just a regular main shot, and then into emergency transformation, and then do an MA main shot and your assist. It's really good. Oh, there's a plane overhead. Very nice. Just like Gabthley here. He's a plane too. Anyways, being able to throw out that MA main and then the assist shot, it's really good in neutral because you keep moving. And it's more of an effect than the Garo fence. Although the Garo fence is more just like a positioning tool. Kind of really bad because of the death order on this and the fact that I took just a lot of damage, but it looks like it's winnable right now because Rebrons just got hit, but he popped up and immediately did CSA, I believe, if that's what's going to kill me. Right? Oh no, it was Farsia. But yeah, really bad death order there, and the fact that, you know, I didn't have a lot of life to spend as Gabthley. Standard neutral, but I recognize that I've been double locking or just locked onto Rebrons the whole time and noticed that he was doing this very long sequence, so I recognized when he was going to land, when he did that last desperation like Fua step, that it's like, okay, he's got no more boost, he's going to land an overheat, it's time to punish. Being able, like, you can't see their boost bar visually, but you can, just from it, the more that you play, the more that you understand the limits of the suit, like how much they can do something, and when it's your time to try and punish it. One thing that I struggle with doing, and it's against Destiny specifically, is because Destiny has the gall, the gumption, the tools to do these sequences in overheat. Like, he'll go for these moves even when you feel like you've got a guaranteed punish, and turn it back on you and turn it into a more, you know, positive net gain for him. But just being, the more that you play, again, the more that you're going to recognize the boost. You're going to be able to see it when someone has done a large sequence and when they're going to land an overheat. It's one of the key game sense skills to really develop, is getting a feel of, one, your enemy's burst, and two, your enemy's boost. Once you're able to get a bead on those measures, you're really able to up your decision making in game, I feel like. But it's a hard skill to develop because it comes with time. Again, it's sense. It's not something that's like technical that you can develop. It just requires you to play a lot and recognize the situations that suits are in a lot of the time. Like right now, I feel like I'm pretty aimless. Like I've got my burst, and I'm like, now it's time to go into Farsia. Farsia CSA is I think that's CSA. It's that shotgun spread, so it's kind of hard to push in on that. But I have around the same life total as DX, so it's not like I'm doing anything wrong. It's just I kind of feel aimless in doing it. But now I'm as Gabthley. I don't have the. I was kind of just like waiting to be Gabthley because I feel like with Gabthley I have a better idea of like what to do just in neutral. So I tried to do a last minute 2BC to escape and cut tracking, but I should have just recognized that he's going to burst, he's going to go for melee right away, it's just time to 2B. Instead of trying to escape transformation and do the melee out of transformation. Right, we have the last game of the set. he did the CSA shotgun a bit early, so I was like, alright, I'm able to kind of go for it now. But I ate the Cannon Garrow as a punish, but he took his eyes off of me, and Farsia still stayed in the area instead of trying to regroup with his partner, so I just capitalized. Like, I stepped the shotgun once, he has to hold CSA to try to do it again. It's time to just kind of go for that overcost situation. When you allow yourself to be put into that situation where you're like, I'm gonna try and fight Marasai at his own game, it's kind of like a situation with MBON, you know? Like, you don't want to play his game, because if you let him play, if you want to play his game against him, like, he's gonna cheat. He's gonna, you know, bend the rules. So my partner's in red. I'm just like, alright, I'm just gonna stay back, try and get some shots off while they're not looking at me. But I've got my burst now. And she's gonna burst. I managed to land the kick, but I get hit down right away. So kind of unfortunate, but probably going to save my burst for Gabthley. Typically I run E-burst, so I wanted to switch to F-burst just to try it out. Because, you know, typically 2Ks don't take E-burst, but Marasai and Gabthley is a special case because he's Marasai and Gabthley. If I was simply Gabthley the whole time, I think S-burst would be the play, but unfortunately that is not the case. So, flip burst out of that because, again, Reborn's cannon gets onto my vector just by flipping and hits me, but because it takes a lot of boost and because it's a flip burst, I'm just like, alright, immediate retaliation. And it works. So, that was the end of the set. Thanks for watching. I'll probably have more videos out soon.